What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us. We had an Armageddon, we had a double cross, sort of, and we had an awesome Boulder challenge. We're going to get into it all right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
We could do a whole episode about ridiculous 90s rock bands' names. Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit, corn with a K. That's what we were, you know.
I know.
So many food metaphors.
Yes.
So many, innuendos. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We are very excited to get into this episode. It's episode 18, still going, and it is Always Sunny in South Africa. So there was a lot that went on today. I am Pamela Gross, and to my left is the beautiful.
Whoa.
The beautiful.
Very overstated. But thank you.
Yo, what are you wearing?
Hey guys, Dan Lindgren here. Super excited to talk about the show. Overall thoughts. A lot of game time this time. Not as much drama. It was kind of fun. I liked it. A little change of pace.
Yes, it's funny. These, I always feel like there wasn't a lot going on in these, but then when we go over it, I'm like, wait, so much went on.
Yeah.
It's just that there wasn't.
This episode flew by.
Right. There wasn't a lot of heavy drama, so it kind of feels like not a lot happened, but actually a lot happened.
I completely agree.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yes. So we are going to talk about a few things tonight. We're going to go over what happened in the Redemption House, all that drama, the Armageddon double cross that never was, and then finally that challenge and saying goodbye to some of our teams. Let's start with saying bye-bye to the Redemption House. So we kick off there where we left off last week with Bananas stirring up trouble, telling Kaylee that Nelson and Natalie were hooking up. What did you make of all this?
I mean, it's his last straw. You know, if he doesn't make it out of this Redemption House, he's going home. So he's got the biggest wooden spoon ever, and he's just stirring the pot.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It's a little ridiculous. The insults were kind of lame. Tony was kind of sitting there like as his tough guy in the back, and then he's yelling out random things like, you suck. I'm like, okay, Tony, that's fine.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
The whole thing was mildly amusing and super childish.
Right.
And they knew, that it was a last-ditch attempt to get under their skin.
Yeah,
Kyle, I think, actually said, let's let these teams destroy each other and we'll just sit back. I mean, it didn't work out that way because then Nelson and Kaylee talked and he was like, I didn't do anything. And she was like, okay. And that was kind of
pretty
the
much.
end of it.
It took Nelson 30 minutes to process everything. And then he literally said, I don't care about Natalie like that. And she's like, oh my God, I believe you. And it's like, well, we knew this was going to happen when they tried to make it like a big deal at the end of the last episode 17. So it got summed up pretty quick.
And also Cam, again, was to the rescue, just telling Nelson, we've been here stewing in our own juices. She's in her head.
Yeah.
When you hear something like that and you're sort of unraveling, it's easy to tailspin on it. So I do understand Kaylee.
What I didn't get was Shane. It's like, why didn't Shane jump in more to help Nelson to diffuse that situation instead of just going to yell with Johnny? Going to yell with Johnny's not going to help Kaylee feel better and stop that drama for your partner, Nelson, who has to deal with a girl problem where he's just trying to, make men's with his girlfriend at the time.
I don't know.
Just jump in there and help him.
I don't know.
But Shane would rather go argue with Bananas about stuff.
Right.
From Bananas is up in a balcony like Juliet, and he's down there Romeo, but they're having an argument. That's Shane. They're just fighting from a long distance.
Yeah, it was kind of fun to watch, but a little bit silly. So the Redemption House drama heats up, and then they go down to pull the double cross. There are 4 teams, and we learn that
they're all going to get a chance.
Right. There's no real double cross, or there is a double cross, but that just means you pick the team you want to go against.
Right.
Which is fine. What did you think of that?
I thought it was great that they were all going to get a chance to get back in the game. Because in a way, all these teams have something to offer, good or bad, for that final challenge.
And it is a juicy, the 4 teams that were left are 4 really strong teams.
Yeah, and you love to hate some of them and you love to love some of them, so you kind of wanted all of them to get a chance to come back, which they did.
And it's going to be a good show during the Armageddon, no matter who wins or loses.
How did you feel about Kyle and Brad getting that first double cross, though, and knowing they get to choose anybody?
Okay, well, should we just jump on over to that Armageddon now? Let's get into that. Okay.
Well, yeah, because once Brad and Kyle pulled it.
So Brad and Kyle pulled the double cross. I think we knew immediately, right? We knew they're going to pick.
And I also think the producers knew who they were going to choose.
I think so too, because they had the two separate eliminations set up.
Purposely, they knew they were going to have two guy teams go at each other no matter what.
Right.
And that Cam and Kaylee were going to be the girls. So they purposely, obviously, made the peg challenge, which is more guy-girl equalizer-wise together.
Which I got to say I loved. I thought that was a great...
You and I...
Yeah.
That was the most excited I think you and I have ever been this season watching an Armageddon elimination. We were standing up out of our seats, pointing at the screen. We high-fived at the end. How weird are we?
I'm so embarrassed.
Right.
Well, because, okay, so it was really good.
Yeah.
And I loved, because Kyle and Brad, you know, they were like, we'll just take the girls out. And I think we all sort of thought, like, they might not have a chance until we saw what it was. And it was math first and then climbing. So it was great. It had a little something for everyone.
Strength and strategy. The two S's that I like. It was fun to have them both mixed in. I wanted to know what you thought of who had the better strategy, because I think I know who you're going to choose.
Okay.
Well, go for it. I know you can say. It's fine.
I thought 100% Cam, who was like, I'm not doing my math in the air.
Yeah.
Like, of course, I'm going to do it first, which I think was 100% the best strategy. Watching it, I was like, Kaylee, climb.
Right.
I was going crazy that she was like lackadaisically, because it did come down to it that had the boys team not been wrong, she was just like, you know, we saw him literally spider monkey up that wall, and that was insane. So that's where you see that the strength matters.
Cam and Kaylee had the better, strategy for sure. Because look, all you have to do is add them up and then subtract them on the ground and then just go place them on the wall and just climb up. You don't have to worry about it on the wall. Now, here's what I do think though.
Okay.
If Brad and Kyle had just switched positions, I think that they would have won with their worst strategy. And I'll tell you why. Because Brad just needed a better view. He's obviously good at math. He's an accountant. I mean, you can't be an accountant and not actually have some good math skills.
Sure.
All Brad had to do was, if he stood where Kyle was and had Kyle doing the climbing, he just, Kyle, bring a 3 up there. He could have just done because he needed to see it. He was too far away, or he was better to be far away.
Right. I think you're 100% right. But the thing is, Kyle, once the rules were explained, and like, I don't want to mock Kyle because I was right there with him. I was like, wait, what? Like, subtraction, addition, make it 32, but you need 16. I mean, but Kyle said, dude, I can't, like, this is all you. I can't do it.
Brad made the mistake.
Said, Brad
made the mistake.
Oh, I'll do it because then I can see the numbers. And that's not very, Cam said, I'm good at math. I'll do the peg assignment and you set up the wall. So Brad.
For some reason, I think Brad thought he'd be more in control by being on the actual peg wall, which I agree, but it's so much easier to just all Kyle has to do is listen.
Right.
Kyle's bet, just listen to what he says and just do it. Don't question it. Because Kyle wouldn't have questioned it. Like he said at the beginning of the thing, Brad, you're in control.
Right. And we 1,000,000% saw that Cam and Kaylee, while they both perform really well, it's been Coach Cam and Kaylee sort of taking direction, which has made them successful. And that's fine. Like, that's a great relationship to have with your teammate where people accept that. So this was a bummer. And I understand how Brad thought. I sort of do get that he thought, I can, if you make a mistake, I can correct it.
My whole thing
in
is
real time,
Kyle's like 6'4". He's got a wingspan of 7 feet or some.
Yeah.
He could have just stood and just hit the bell. Like, so I really thought if he was on the wall, because even when Brad was on the wall, if their math was right, they would have won, like you said.
Right.
So, God, if Brad could have just been back there doing a little better math than Kyle.
Yeah. And it was so stressful because in their defense, hindsight is 2020. I think it seemed like a good plan at the time. I think that they were overconfident that they were going to win.
Right.
So that worked against them, actually. Yeah. And then with Kaylee and Cam, I think that just from the get-go, that strategy of figuring it all out first.
Oh, it was great.
There's no way to once you're in that situation in the air and you've got Kyle panicking, who knows nothing, and Brad saying there shouldn't be at that point, it's just all over for you. So
and it was they don't see each other what's happening, right? But you and I got to see them going up the side almost equally. It was really fun.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It was a great competition because it was really tense. And it was what you said, the double S's, strength and strategy.
And then we go from that, and then we go into some lame. They're holding on to like a battering ram thingy, but it's really lightweight.
So the next one was the King of the Ring, which I thought, so the next challenge was Tony and Bananas versus Shane and Nelson. And Dan was saying, like, this is not even, they're gonna destroy them. This isn't even a competition. And I was like, you never know.
I know.
Because there could have been the breakout strategy where someone's pulling and you like do the let go in the tug of war.
It's Nelson. I love him.
But Shane could be a strategizer.
Well, then why didn't all right.
But he didn't.
My whole thing is that just Tony and Bananas, especially, I paused the show to talk to you about this real quick. I was like, Tony is huge. And Bananas, he's no slouch. He's a strong dude.
Right.
They're gonna, I wrote down here, they're gonna bulldoze them. And that's what they did.
And they did. They even apparently made it drawn out longer for us because the girls were saying, like, it was just so quick. It was just so hard to watch because it happened so fast.
You know how the challenge likes to cut down their episodes? They didn't have to cut this down. They showed this thing fully out, which was like, 2 minutes. Yeah. Not even.
So, Dan, in addition to being King of the Ring, is there anything you'd like to tell everybody?
Yeah. Hey, AfterBuzzers. AfterBuzz TV does after shows for all your favorite shows, sci-fi, drama, reality like The Challenge, but we need your help. We would love if you would subscribe to one or more of our channels. It would really help us out. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. And we just want to, as always, thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. Back to you, Pam.
Yeah. So the King of the Ring challenge happened pretty quickly. Were you happy with the results of this Armageddon?
Sure. I mean, I'm not a huge Kyle guy at this point, so I kind of wanted to see Kyle and Brad win just because I thought they'd be a little better, maybe strength-wise, to go against if a Johnny or one, or Joss is just, as we see later in the show, ridiculously, just a beast. So what about you? I don't know. I was so neutral. You really wanted Cam and Kaylee to win. I was really excited.
I mean, 1,000,000%. I do like Brad to the point where it's unfortunate that he's so tainted by Kyle.
I feel the same way.
Who really, we've said it once, we've said it thrice, we've probably said it 1,000 times. Kyle is really still the worst, to the point where he's like, if only he is so entitled for someone that is on his second challenge.
I wrote down Brad was a gracious loser, and Kyle was an awful loser. I wrote that down. It just is what it is.
And Brad, I mean, it sucks. And Brad was real cool. He was like, it's going to process having to let go of the dream of $1 million.
Of course.
But at that point, he's like, time to go home to the kids. Like, what do you do at that point?
Right.
Time to go home to your kids. Kyle was just like, we shouldn't have lost. If only we had. It's like, Kyle.
Looks like I'll be seeing Cara soon.
Oh,
I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here, Kyle.
What is his deal with Cara? We'll be sitting in the old folks' home together?
She's been on the challenge forever, and she's a great money ticket for anybody that wants to get on more shows if they team up with her. He showed it from the last one. She picked him to go to the finals.
It's just at this point, though, making him look like such a jerk. It's not.
But he still has 4.1 million followers on Instagram. I was like, oh my God. So, hey, it's working for him. Apparently, everyone that's hating on him is probably still following him on Instagram. So what does that tell the world?
I don't know.
It's tough, right? It's a weird thing to think about.
It is. He's internationally known.
I know you told me that last week. It's
is.
still 4.1 million, though.
It's a lot of people.
That's so many people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, Kyle, I guess you're doing something right. I mean, is he trying to be the new Bananas? Like, I'm the one you love to hate. No, it's just so disappointing because we really fell for him last season.
I definitely did.
Me too.
Yeah.
And now, blech. So he's the worst. So I feel bad for them. But of course, Kaylee and Cam have really, I think, get like MVP for heart and growth.
Awesome.
And
they were awesome tonight, yeah.
And not just tonight, this whole season, they've been so sweet with each other. You get to see Cam's sweeter side because sometimes she's kind of cutthroat, and she's been so sweet with Kaylee, and I like their friendship. And speaking of taking it like a champ, not to cut ahead, but they took things like a champ. So I was really glad to see them beat Brad and Kyle, especially since Brad and Kyle, I think, thought they had it in the bag.
Well, that's why they chose them, obviously. Of course. Yeah.
So good job, girls. And then the second one, the guys. Let's break that down.
I guess I was rooting for Shane and Nelson, but I knew there was no way they were going to win. So in a way, I was just like, let's see how how much Johnny and Tony can just destroy them. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see that then, you know?
Yes. And the reason, how I feel about the Lavender Ladies. So I wasn't rooting for, and I do like Nelson and Shane as a team. And I think they're amusing. Of the Lavender Ladies, they're definitely the least offensive group of Young Buck and Lavender Ladies to me. But I really wanted Tony and Bananas to win because I think that what's the word?
Makes for more exciting finale.
Makes for
final?
more exciting finale, but also there's something about the Lavender Ladies' obnoxiousness that actually in competition rubs me the wrong way.
Right.
That makes me think like you guys can hate all you want, but don't sleep on Bananas and Cara. There's a reason why they're the champ winners and why they keep winning these things and why they keep coming back. It's like, listen, Ashley and whoever, I'm glad that like you've got a lot of friends, but you're not better than them in competition. Shane and Ashley, like you can strategize in the bathroom with gold masks on, but get in the ring and Bananas is probably going to beat you. So
I mean, Shane went into the competition saying, I really didn't want to do a physical elimination. Oh yeah, that's going to really help you mentally win this.
Yeah.
And Nelson, he is a stronger guy, but like I said, I don't think he's great on his feet. I think he like tripped over himself a lot tonight. I mean, and he was overpowered by them just in general. So, and did you hear what he said? He's like, I wish I could have taken Bananas one-on-one. Was that kind of a little shade to Shane? In a way,
or maybe Antonio. I mean, they were two giant guys. Like you're right. It's two giant guys versus two smaller guys. There's almost no.
I was thinking about this. How lucky is it that Bananas got kind of screwed over by Tony the other season? Because they would never be partners if Tony didn't make one move. One move. They were always besties in a way.
Yep.
So if Tony didn't make that one move, there's no way Bananas would have this great of a partner in this season.
I mean, truth be told, my conspiracy corner I think that, he was swapped out at the last minute for Devin.
Of course.
Devin was supposed to be his partner, and then Devin had the unfortunate family tragedy.
Right.
I mean, I think it would have been a different game
for Bananas.
For Bananas and Devin, and I really would have liked to have seen it.
Me
because
too.
Devin would have been the strategizer. I'd like to see them work together. I don't think the producers wanted Tony and Bananas. I think it's like who could feasibly be CT. It's like who, all his vendettas were pretty much beasts.
The producers before the season tried to make it as equal as possible with the guy-girl teams, girl-girl teams, the guy-guy teams, whatever.
Exactly.
And then the thing happened with Devin, and then they were like, "Oh God, what did we just do?" But who else would they? Why? I bet Sarah said no. I bet Sarah said no.
Sarah,
I bet they reached out to her, and she said, "Hell no, my work with Bananas." Even though, why not?
I don't know. We need to figure this out.
What if it happens again? What if at the end of this episode you're allowed to steal money or something, and then Sarah had it happen the second time with Bananas?
We've seen it teased. Do you remember that tease where it's again a decision one?
So is it the same? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know how it's going to work out, but they did tease that, and I think they did for the most part pair brute strength, if not a girl guy, then a sort of less gigantic guy with a bigger guy. So
they had it perfectly planned.
Yeah.
And I really think that they should have brought Sarah back. Maybe they tried. We don't know. We'll never know.
You guys out there, if you are in the chat, first of all, we love you. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know if you have any questions or want to weigh in on this. But we want to know, get your investigator caps out and let us know, does anyone know if they reached out to other people before it wound up being Tony? Because that is a really good, because that's almost like having Zach and CT together as a pair.
We got an answer.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true, but someone wrote Sarah. Oh, I'll say who it is. Mia Pardo wrote Sarah was pregnant at the time. They call that's what she says on her podcast. Well, that's what she said on her podcast.
That's what she said. Okay. Awesome.
I was reading it verbatim, but maybe I should have switched it around. Yes.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. So Sarah couldn't do it, or Paula, if they did a real deep cut and called back Paula Walnuts.
Yeah.
I would have loved that, like giving these people a chance to screw him over again. And it would have been great, but I think Paula said she's not interested in doing this again. I might be wrong about that, but I think I saw that.
So I guess consensus is that Tony was not the first choice.
So it would have been a different game for sure. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of enjoying it because despite the fact that they're obviously have the most strength.
We'll get into the next part.
They're the ones that they got the Lavender Ladies and the Young Bucks all ganged up again. So I've unfortunately kind of been team them this season. Mm-hmm. And so I like seeing them. I liked seeing them win this time.
Yeah, I mean, I this is so off topic, but I'm still going with Joss and Sylvia. I love this team, but we can get into that in a second.
All right, well, let's just do it. Let's
get
roll
into
right into it.
You're rocking this show right now, Pam.
Oh, don't push me, Dan. Don't push me. Dude, it's an uphill battle. No. Okay.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Going back, so now into this Boulder challenge.
Right.
So we say goodbye to Shane and Nelson, and we say goodbye to Kyle and Brad.
Aww.
And of course, everyone's so cool. We've already said this, but stupid Kyle, who's like the most inexperienced novice, Kyle, the worst. So now we have this Boulder challenge, and Natalie and Polly get a 10-second advantage because they won. So what this challenge is basically pushing a boulder, and then they're going to get into a ravine, and then they push it more.
Get out of the ravine, then go back uphill.
Yeah, out of the ravine, into the ravine, out of the ravine. So take it away. What did you think of this?
I thought the 10-second head start was kind of just like one of those things where it's like, it wasn't that great, it wasn't that bad, it was pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
So they all get jammed up in this ravine.
Yeah.
Bananas and Tony make a smart decision to like go somewhere else, but there's no matter what I thought Bananas and Tony, because he's like, oh, they're all going, in the same spot, there's got to be a better way. They still had to go through the ravine. I thought he was going to find like a bridge or something. Is that way? Like he was so smart about it. But
no.
he went through the ravine. There are two guys, okay? Like let's be honest here. They should have destroyed everybody, because when it went to that ravine, they lifted that rock out of that ravine in like 2 seconds.
Well,
Joss is built to has the strength of both of those guys.
Right. And the endurance. Like remember
he's in the first episode that he was on, he ran and ran and ran. He said the whole season he'd been waiting for this endurance challenge. And he finally got it. And this is why I think they're gonna have a great chance in the finale. Because what is the finale? For the most part, it's endurance. There are gonna be those puzzles, which I hope Sylvia can figure out. But I'm telling you right now, I just like this team, and it just goes to show you, like, yeah, Sylvia's been carrying the weight most of the season, and who carried it today? Josh carried the boulder up the hill.
But as much as I'm not her biggest fan, she did a good job. Like, you still have to. She kept up. If she was lagging behind, they wouldn't have gotten there. I have to admit, as much as they're not my like favorites, they are crushing it. They did an incredible job this whole season. They really have worked well as a team. Like, it does go to show how important teamwork and communication is, and trust, and sort of letting someone's strength shine. And there's a few teams that we saw that really mastered that, and a few teams that like can't get there, like Hunter and Ashley, that could be strong competitors that just can't seem to work together.
Yeah, I was saying every challenger has a weakness, and Joss and Sylvia have done a really good job at hiding those weaknesses. Now, I am a little worried about Sylvia in the finale as far as endurance goes, because she was able to handle today, but that's my only concern. But if she can do that, and then she'll take care of the puzzles, I think it'll be really fun.
The challenges are good because they're always endurance, and then those puzzles or the stop challenges
almost like an equalizer,
right? Like they can, if you can't get them, you're not. I mean, you can't move forward. So
how did you feel about the two girl teams struggling once the boulder went into the ravine?
Okay, first of all, I did think though that Bananas and Team Benoni
should have done better.
Smart. Well, yes, but was smart to get out of that way. There was a gridlock.
Oh, why not try something else?
But then when they got it, I'm going back to them. So then they got it out, and they're in the lead. And it's like, what is wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? And we know what's wrong with them.
Tony has kind of got the dad bod now. He's super strong, but I think he's working a dad bod a little bit. And I'm not sure how. Bananas has been doing this forever. He's getting a little older.
Listen.
What's up?
So I'm cool with, Joss and Sylvia take it number one.
Right.
Joss is a beast. Sylvia's helping, endurance, whatever.
Yeah.
Then Polly and Natalie roll right on in front of Tony and Bananas to make it number two. At that point, it's getting embarrassing for them.
Honestly, like you and I were talking about before the show, we both don't think the boulder was that heavy. Okay?
No.
And I think that Polly, even though he's like a small version of Joss in a way with his endurance. So I think that he was like, I didn't see him struggle at all.
And back to strategy, Natalie, again, is smart. He's the strength. And she was like, the best thing I can do is conserve my energy, let him get it down there, and then help and keep up. And that's pretty smart too. So then they rolled on forward, but they're still much smaller. You've got Bananas and Tony. They're giant. No matter how heavy that boulder is, they should have been able to push it faster than Paulie and Natalie.
They ran out of steam, though.
Right.
That
they
was
really
their issue.
did.
And that's like, how are they going to do in a finale if
Well,
they're running out of steam here?
That's what I'm
because
saying.
Do you remember, and I don't know which one it was, when Tony was paired up with CT? Was that during like a Champs versus Stars thing?
I think it was, Tony and CT.
Tony and CT, and like CT was struggling, but Tony carried the weight.
Yeah.
So maybe it's going to be more of a, when it really counts, because they knew they weren't getting first, I guess, once they thought they saw Joss and Sylvia pass. So it didn't really matter where they placed after that. So maybe they just kind of took it off a little bit.
I think that's generous of you to assume
look
that
at me standing up for bananas.
Yeah. And look at me saying, gosh, get it together, guys.
We're switching places.
I know, but I don't know if this was production making it look like that, but they crossed that line and collapsed, whereas everybody else, didn't.
And you notice how, here I'll go off, now I can jump back on bananas here because I was just so nice to him, how he's always, saying stuff to Joss and Sylvia about their team. He didn't say one peep when they destroyed him in that challenge. So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was interesting.
Yeah, so we have Joss and Sylvia take it away. Then Panatali goes in and wins.
Panatali.
Yeah, Panatali. Then number 3 was Benoni. Number 4 was Ashley and Hunter.
Yeah.
And then number 5, and we got to congratulate them too, is Cara and Marie, who made it pretty shortly after Ashley and Hunter.
Yeah.
And for a girl team, which we saw that was a disadvantage in this.
Such a disadvantage.
Good for them.
Heck yeah.
It's great.
They got it stuck in that. I wrote about Cam. I go, that's jammed, Cam.
Right.
Because when where they went in, I felt like the ravine was even skinnier.
Well, I wanted them to just bounce it across. That was when they first did that, I was like, yes, girls, yes.
I don't know if we
freaking skip this whole ravine.
Yeah.
I think it almost could have.
Yeah.
Like if they planned it a little harder or gave it a good kick.
A kick? How hard? I think it was kind of hard, though.
Fine, a together push. Or if someone stood in the ravine with their hands up so it bounced off. Yeah. That's what because in my brain, this is a giant balloon covered in paper mache. So even though it's giant, I don't think it could weigh more than 25,
I wish
30
we
pounds.
knew what it was made out of. I really
Yeah.
do, because I have no idea. They definitely did not. I think they purposely did not mention the weight of it either.
I mean, I know it was
Because they could have easily just said.
Have you
just said the weight.
Well, have you ever played with an earth ball?
Sure.
I mean, they're hard to manage because they're so big.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not that they're so heavy. So if you sort of think like Cam does, I bet that's what I'm thinking was their plan. I don't think they meant to just toss it in.
I feel like it had to be somewhat heavy, because if it was so light, if it was like a earth ball or whatever, they could throw that out of there.
I don't know, you guys. We're going to have to get to the bottom of
it
this.
Is what it
Someone,
is.
let us know what was the actual weight of this. Approximately.
Sure.
Or if we can figure out what it was made of.
No,
if
totally.
we can do some investigating, some online sleuthing. Do you have any other theories about Kaylee and Cam?
Nope. That's it. All right. You want me to say my theory?
Dan has a theory. Dan's Conspiracy Corner.
Dan's Conspiracy Corner, and you're all gonna write about this in the comment section now.
He wasn't gonna say it.
I wasn't gonna say it. Dan's Conspiracy Corner of the night. Did you notice that they didn't actually show Cam and Kaylee get the boulder out of the ditch? The camera conveniently started rolling when it was almost out, so my conspiracy was that maybe they took a really long time and they just wanted him to help them get out of there, and someone went down there and helped them push it out.
Like maybe they did it eventually after it wasn't going to make a difference,
right,
so that
that's
they
what
could
I'm saying.
finish.
Someone went in there and just said, hey, and then they showed it coming out after that.
Okay,
But
now
here we
when
go.
you first mentioned that theory, I was like, stop, that's crazy.
Okay.
However, it does beg the question that if they got it out on their own, why wouldn't they have showed it? So
That's all I was
don't
saying.
think that your theory is completely out of line. I just feel like why...
I just like to have conspiracies every week, so I'm throwing
Okay.
one out there, and there you go.
You heard it here first, guys. What do you think? Weigh in. Tell us what... Don't weigh in. No, weigh in.
They're
Let us
going
know
to
what you
weigh in,
think.
and they're going to go 100% against me, and it's going to be great.
Okay. Well, that was pretty much the Boulder challenge.
Yes.
I mean, did you like it?
I like the Boulder challenge a lot. I thought for sure. Well, when Paulie was running down after him, like, what if Paulie loses this thing? Where is it gonna go? How deep is this ravine? What is gonna happen to this boulder? Because he was flying down that hill.
That is when
So
it
that
became...
was my first concern. Like, where is this? I went from not liking Polly at all to liking Natalie the whole time to now loving this team too. So
I
it's
agree.
very weird for me.
I agree that I didn't understand, and this will lead us into our next segment. We have some news and gossip coming
Definitely.
up, but it's always hard with new people to wrap your head around them at first, and especially when they come in hot like Polly did. It's like, whoa, dude, come on.
Yeah. Oh God, I really want to get into that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All
Yeah.
right, well, let's get into it now. So, okay,
Let's announce. What are we doing? Predictions right now?
We're news and gossip.
News and gossip.
News and gossip.
News
We've
and
got
gossip.
some updates, you guys.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, this is good.
Okay, so news and gossip, as you guys probably know, the season 33 cast has been officially announced. So we've been hearing rumors. I think they started taping on October 15th. So we've been hearing about it, but now it's been officially announced. And it is going to be War of the Worlds. And we have some differing. Dan has a hot tip that he got on that.
Oh, yeah.
Of what that means, the War of the Worlds.
Yeah, the hot tip that I got into my Instagram DM, I'll announce his name after because that's real nice of him to send me this. Is that they're gonna pair up a challenge veteran with someone from a different network platform.
Okay, like a la Fresh Meat.
A la Fresh Meat,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
But they're already gonna have huge Instagram followers.
Yes.
Because they want that now.
Right.
They don't want Fresh Meat where Cara Maria comes in with no Instagram follow. They want people from The Bachelorette and all those other
Right.
shows that you can announce here that they're gonna be from. Yeah.
Okay. It just seems to me with the title War of the Worlds that it would be MTV people versus these
Versus.
people from other worlds. So I don't know the official what War of the Worlds means.
Yeah, but then you're getting a very one-sided rooting platform where anyone that's a challenge fan, in theory, has to root for Bananas and Wes and all the other people. Like, I like rooting for Wes over Bananas. So if they're on the same team, that's going to throw off the show. So I think it's a good idea that they pair him up with the other people. Now, we just read that there are going to be 14
Yes.
new cast
So the
members from shows
rookies-
that we might not have even watched.
Right.
That's a lot.
There's a few people that were on Big Brother season 17. So that was Pauly and Natalie's season, I believe. So that will be more alliances for them. It's interesting to see how this is going to shake down. I know this guy from The Bachelorette. I don't have much to
Yeah.
say about him.
Yeah.
And then most of the other people are from European X on the Beach kind of dating-y shows, except the Floribama guy, Gus, that people love. So
Apparently. I haven't watched the show. So
I haven't
yeah.
either. And then with the veterans, do you want to go over? Because we're not going to read all the rookies because
Yeah, the
we'll
funny
just
thing
post
was
it.
I said that Wes is going to be on. You're like, oh, I didn't see him on there because they have his name down as Weston.
Weston.
They have his full name.
Yes.
You got Weston, Polly, Natalie. Nani's coming back, which is
Yes.
she's been gone for a while now, so that could be interesting.
That's
Leroy,
exciting.
your best friend Kyle's coming back. Johnny Bananas. My favorite character, Cam's coming back. Ha
Cam.
ha ha.
I love Cam.
I know you do. And I don't hate Cam. I just think she's getting a little cocky too soon. I want her to just win a lot more and then turn into
Okay,
that.
okay.
Anyways, yeah, Amanda and Ashley, your two other favorite people. Cara Maria's coming back, CT. I mean, we can go on forever. But
Well,
yes,
I'm really excited.
16 challenge veterans.
16 challenge veterans versus 14 rookies. So I don't know what that's all about, or if
I don't know where they're
know.
going to put in two more somehow. Well, we don't know who that's going to. Maybe that's going to be a random surprise they really don't want to announce or something.
More
Who knows?
news to come. But let me see this. I'm excited about this
Yeah.
list because for the veterans, the Lavender ladies had the numbers this time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm kind of excited. I feel like in terms of competitors and friends and sort of alliances and actual strength in competition.
Yeah.
Amanda and Ashley obviously are into each other, but I feel like Cara, Devon, Natalie,
Yeah.
Nani, girl-wise can be a great alliance, and Jenna, who are all great competitors.
I
So-
wonder where Wes is going to what Wes is going to try to do. Wes is my favorite of all time.
Okay.
I'm super upset he wasn't on this season. I'm super pumped he's back. Right now I'll be rooting for Wes the entire season. They're filming right now. Wes, come on, Wes, come on,
Yeah.
Wes. Like, I'm rooting for him now.
And the other thing that they're doing that's clever, if it is if it is veterans paired with rookies, is that as much as it takes a minute for us to warm up to these new people. That is the way that they introduce them to us. Although we were discussing earlier, dumping 14 newbies on us in one season is going to be a little hard to swallow. What do you
Right.
guys think? We want to hear.
But
your
what
opinion.
they're doing is, if the Kingdom Skyfall 96 is right,
Okay.
from what he sent me, it's going to be if whoever Wes is with. in theory, I'm gonna be praying that I like that person, and then therefore maybe fall in love with that character as well.
Yeah,
That's why they're doing it. I think
I'm a little. I think that having the girl guy challenges equalized and having girl guy pairs worked out kind of. But I'd like to not see that again. I'd like to see it more.
Do you think they're going to do girl guy the entire...
Either all girl guy.
All girl guy, yeah.
Or groups.
We could add up the boys and girls here, which we can't really do live right now. But like in theory, after we can see if there's an equal amount of guys and girls on both sides, and they could easily do guy girl.
Or even teams. It could be mixed teams. Like
what do you mean by that? Like multiple...
Yeah, like say there were
groups of
4
or something?
Teams. Yeah.
Groups of... They've never done something like that.
There
A
was
group of 4 could be
sort
fun.
of like it, where like you're sort of individual, but in competition, like almost like Troika. You get teamed up for certain things. So that might be interesting in War of the Worlds. Because I mean, obviously they could do with War of the Worlds. And again, I want you guys to weigh in. Let us know. Twitter at us, all that stuff. Yeah. It could be Big Brother versus Challenge versus British.
Austin Kim wrote they are girl guy teams. I don't know what the truth is, but that's what Austin Kim's saying.
Okay. And are they, Austin Kim, are they girl guy teams from rookie and veterans, or are they just girl guy teams?
I think Austin Kim. He's talking about something else now. Okay. No, now he's talking about something else with someone. Yes, I don't know.
Okay. Well,
those are some predictions in there too that we're doing now.
Yes, this is prediction. This is news and gossip. This is everything. Now, I've got one gossipy thing because I saw footage of Kayla. Did Kayla get kicked off again or something?
Of the new show?
I saw Kayla leaving. I swear there was like footage of her packed her bag saying like I'm going now to shoot season 33, but she is not on this list.
Maybe she's one of the 2 that are missing. Which one has the 14?
No, they've got more.
Oh, so it would have to be new people that we don't know.
Huh.
I don't know.
All right. Okay. Well, that is that for season 33, and we will have more news as it comes. And again, you guys, we will post this link with all the information so you can read it through yourself.
You want to know what Banana Boom is saying?
Yes.
Female vet, male rookies, and male vet, female rookies. But how does that make sense? Because it would have to be, there's no rookies on the challenge side, right? On the challenge,
but
they're
I think
all
they're
veterans
saying
for
like
a reason.
All the girl vets. Wait, say that again, what they said?
Female vet with a male rookie and male vets with a female rookie, or versus.
Yeah,
it's got the line.
No, they're just saying that just means it's girl guy teams of rookies and vets.
Yeah, so veterans, yes. So so it's gonna gonna be all girl guys. That's what we finale. That's multiple sources are telling us.
Okay. Although I still predict that there'll be some sort of twist that we're not prepared for.
There clearly is going to be. We're down 2 rookies.
Maybe they just haven't announced those 2 rookies yet.
Oh, maybe they haven't signed on yet.
I think they need to spice
Maybe they're
going
to be some really big name ones, like super famous. Maybe 2 Jersey Shore people could be cool.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't 2 Jersey Shore people be awesome?
That would be amazing.
Like, I don't think Situation would do it, but maybe like a Polly and Vinny. Yeah.
Oh,
maybe
Polly and Vinny, come on, do it.
Oh man, that'd be fun.
That would be amazing.
I'd be rooting for them. How could you not?
Yeah. So now we are getting there. We're getting to the end. I mean,
yes,
we all know how this show has 809,082 episodes, but one more thing that's sort of newsy and gossipy I want to talk about is Cara and Polly were on the MTV tattoo show.
Yeah.
And they got tattoos
so tell me,
that each other decided.
Saw previews for it. What did they give each other?
Okay, so she got like a crow that he picked out for her, and he has her like season 32 cast photo on his thigh now.
Okay.
So I hope it lasts, kids. I hope it lasts.
What is the show good in general? Like,
I
are
have
they
no
supposed to
idea.
give themselves like ridiculous things that they don't want to have?
It's called like Tattoo Far.
Yeah.
So
they didn't go too far at all.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
The girl.
think.
All right, having a girl on your leg, I guess, for the rest of your life, you don't even know if you're gonna marry this chick. Yeah. Okay.
And she has
that's
like
a lot.
weird giant crow. I mean,
But the crow is.
it's not terrible.
That's not terrible. Well, what does the crow stand for? What was the symbol behind it that he said? Did you watch it, right?
He said something about Game of Thrones. Like I did not
Does
watch
she like
it.
Game of Thrones?
Yeah, apparently he does. He's like, it's a crow, So
His sounds worse.
Yeah. So Having said that, I do want to say it's interesting with Cara and Marie, who made it, we know, to the end.
Final 5 teams now.
Final 5. That for Marie, like this would be like Veronica if her and CT did. Like for Marie, this is kind of a game changer. I mean, I think she's used to coming on these and,
not
hanging
going,
around,
yeah.
So this is exciting. I'm excited to see if they make
I
it
honestly
to the
think it's
final.
anybody's game. I really do. I think that the cards could fall good for Cara if it's going to be, if they decide to, because they know they want to make this close.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want Tony and Bananas just to run away with it because they're stronger and they're 2 boys. So maybe there's going to be a bunch of random equalizers throughout the final. Predictions. Yeah.
Final 3, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, final 3. I'm going to go with
AfterBuzz
my
TV predictions.
Okay. So my predictions, and it's sort of piggybacking off of what you just said, is Bananas and Tony, Joss and Sylvia, and Cara, Marie, and Marie.
Those are your final 3?
That's my final 3.
I'll say Tony and Bananas. I'm saying Joss and Sylvia because they're my team for this. And I'm going to go wild card. I think it's going to be Hunter Ashley because I'm telling you, Hunter is a beast. He'll run forever, and I feel like he's cruising his way in 4th place there for this episode, or whatever. But yeah, I got a feeling. So that means I'm leaving out Cara, Maria, and that team. And who else? What's my last team I'm leaving out?
Polly, Natalie. Oh my God, I forgot about.
I'm still gonna leave Polly and Natalie out.
Ooh, this is rough. Okay.
Natalie's gonna have some type of breakdown.
Well, we have to go, unfortunately.
Yeah.
This has been wonderful, but we love to continue the conversation with you guys. So please follow me on Twitter. My name is Pamela Gross Jill. And then all this exciting stuff that we want to predict and figure out, we're going to have to stay tuned because we don't know. I don't know. I forgot about Polly and Natalie.
It's exciting. As always, I am Dan Lindgren. You can find me on all the things social, the Dan Lindgren. Shout out to Natalie. Thanks for the Instagram little post that she wrote on my photo. So thank you, Natalie. And peace out, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you for joining us.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.